Hello, everybody. My name is Christian Slider, and welcome back to That's the Flavor, episode number 16. You know, it's your weekly podcast where I sit down with my friends and talk about my life, and also just random stuff like ducks fighting giant loaves of bread, or That's the Flavor, but as a puppet show, or how the show Oobies was terrifying, but also how I drove into a house, returned a lost child, fell into a recycling bin. You guys know how it is. This podcast hits your feeds every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. And yeah, we're just kind of here to hang out. This week, I am joined by Christian, not myself, but another guy named Christian. Don't get confused, audience. And we're going to kind of talk about what it's like with him owning a clothing company and stuff here in the year 2020 and how that's been and fun stuff like that. But also just kind of kick it back because I've known him for a super long time. So yeah, Christian, welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up? This is different.
Great.
It's a different environment. For sure.
This is completely from what you and me, like how you and me normally talk.
Yeah,
sure.
where's the Xbox party at, man? Where's the?
Yeah, I feel like the fact that we're in a Discord call right now is probably the closest we'll get to that Xbox party feel.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Still a good one.
Yeah, man. Okay, so this is one question I forgot to kind of cue you in on or give you a thing. But if you had to go to like one go-to memory of me, of like something I've said, something stupid I've done, what is that go-to memory?
Probably where I got my name for all my games from. You're tied to like my name story. So like the Minecraft days when you were trying to make a capture the wool map, man. And I was just messing around putting a pig in the center, and you were like, guys, I'm really trying to make a map here. Can we please focus on the map? And I was like, yo, but this pig's pretty cool, man. This pig's pretty cool.
Back in the days where I took Minecraft that seriously, I was like, guys, we're on a schedule. We got to build a Minecraft map, all right? Everybody focus up.
Mm-hmm.
My man's out here off to the side spelling out Nufton and stuff over in like wool. I'm like, dude, you got to build this row of the map.
Yeah. I was like, but this is fun.
This is enjoyable. But definitely one of the things that I think, besides, all of our Xbox shenanigans, and there's a ton of stories there that could be literally its own episode. One of the cool things that I think that you have done recently is you have a clothing company.
Yeah, that's pretty big, bro.
Yeah, like, which is kind of crazy, especially just considering, again, how we met, and we were just like friends on Xbox playing video games, and it's like, now you kind of look at us, and it's like, you're doing clothing company stuff, I'm doing my stuff, and it's kind of just crazy. So
we've both, being Christians together, bro, I think has brought us this mindset of hustle, because, seriously, think about it, bro. We've both tried to do everything we can do to, like, chase our dreams, We both, like, you still do it. We both tried to give the shot at YouTube. We did streaming together. Here we are. Now we branched off into two separate branches. You're doing podcasts. I'm doing clothing. Bro, we're hustling out here, man. Yeah. We're trying to grind. Like,
you're part of the reason I even came back and attempted trying YouTube again. Is because I saw, like, and same thing with, like, streaming. It's like, because I had done it, and then I saw that you were doing it again, or, like, that you would come back to it, and I was like, you know what? He's doing it. Let me go ahead and try it. And again, I tried it, and I just don't think that right now where I'm at, it works. But it's still something that I'd like to get back into for sure.
I definitely think it's not easy to do with a college schedule. I think people who are able to manage that have amazing time management skills, because between my procrastination and schoolwork and Zoom University giving me a lack of motivation, streaming is not a...
Definitely. It's definitely something I don't have the time for, but I would love to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great because I still talk to a lot of like my streaming audience, and they're like, oh man, when are you going to stream again? I was like, guys, let me keep it real with you. Like, I am just busy right now. Like, the amount of stuff going on, it's like I have the time to stream sporadically, but that doesn't feel fair to you guys. Am I still going to do it? Yeah, but like, don't expect a schedule or like, and I'm this being an actual thing. Like, I've told them, yeah, like my school comes first, then the podcast, and then like streaming. And that's roughly, of course, like I still got to eat and sleep and stuff. But
yeah,
that's still important.
I think the podcast works well, so honestly.
Podcast is great. It's been so enjoyable to be able to be like, hey guys, hey friends, you want to come on for an episode? They're like, oh, well, you have a podcast? I'm like, yeah, it's been around for almost a year, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Come on, hang out, have a good time. I go ahead, edit it, and like I'm good for the week. I mean, not necessarily because I'm still planning other weeks and stuff, but I'm roughly good for the week. Tell me a little bit about how Guard came to be. Like, because I want to know, because it just kind of like for me popped up and I was like, oh, wow, he's doing this thing.
No, it 100% just popped up. Basically, I don't really know where I randomly decided to make a clothing company from, but so I have a group of friends that I always skated with throughout like high school, my whole childhood and such. School. And over the summer of the last summer, not this whole Corona summer, the last summer, we came together and we skate our local skate park all the time. And when we were younger, when we first started skating, every year on June 21st is Go Skate Day. It's the longest day of sunlight. And people used to host events at our skate park. So us being the older guys there now, for the most part, having seen all the older guys go on, and now they have a life, they have to go work their jobs, and now we're kind of in college, still skating, but kind of getting close to the real world. We decided, let's give back the way the older guys did for us. So let's host an event. So we came together, like three or four of us, like out of nowhere, out of the blue. We were like, yo, we can do this. We made flyers. We made, we got sponsors. I literally got skate shops and people to send us free stuff to give out to kids, like at this event, like to host the thing. We made trophies out of Arizona cans, like for competitions. We had music. We had like free water, free food. We did the whole thing. And it was honestly all within a month. And it turned out amazing. And I was like, yo, if me and the boys can do this in a month and get a good show out of people to like come Go Skate Day, like without any prior like experience, and have a good turnout, I feel like we could do a lot more. So I was like, just brainstorm. I was like, yo, bro, we should start a clothing company. And it's all jokes, it's all jokes till you do it.
Of course.
It's all, I could start streaming until next thing you know, you blow up one day streaming and you're like, yo, I really did this. Like,
you go, wait a minute.
Exactly.
This didn't have worked.
So it was just kind of like, right before 2020 came, right before the beginning of the year, it was like December. It was Christmas break. I was working a good job that was paying me like good money. It was making good money, and I was like, "Yo, I want to like invest into something in myself, right? I want to do something that has to do with my major. I'm a graphic design major. I want to do something and kind of jumpstart my career now." So I knew some kids that like I skated with that were pretty creative on the artistic side as well. My boy Brody, my best friend from middle school, is like a business major right now. So I was like, yo, we got the keys. Like we could do this.
Yeah.
And in under a month, I took a name, I took a little design I made, and I put out basic t-shirts just to start. Basic little t-shirts and hoodies just to start. And I did a lot of YouTube research, honestly. And I did what the most cost efficient way of doing it was, which is like we use a method called drop shipping. A lot of people know it.
Yeah.
And and from there it's just kind of been brainstorming ideas, different plans. I got a lot of ideas, so
they're all there. Just at a certain point, you can't just drop them all at once. Of course.
Yeah, no, I think the big thing though that really messed with us was Corona. I'm sure it affected everybody, but being a bunch of kids just finally getting our company, our other drop had done so good, like our second drop that we had planned was doing so good, and then all of a sudden, like all the clothing companies we went through, all the middlemen we were using, obviously for good reason, of course, were like, yep, no more for now, bye. And then it kind of suspended the company on a hiatus, and it kind of sucked because like you get that initial wave of movement, you know what I'm talking about with streaming. You get those first 2 weeks, you get amazing feedback, whatever it is, and then the moment you even take like a 2-3 day break, like you lose so many people who are interested.
Yeah.
You lose a lot really quickly. So we're just suspended, man. I had no real content to post. I had no real like anything. It just sucked.
So I mean, how did you like? What was it like navigating? Because like, yeah, you were stuck, but obviously, of course, then Summer's End came out. Like, what was really that time gap in the problem solving like solution between like your first, like that second drop, and then being able to finally release Close Again? Like, what was your guys' kind of running through the obstacle course that is 2020 to get back on track?
I think one, everyone was working regardless. Like once work came back around, we were all working a lot. So we all realized, yo, we got the money again. We got some funds. I think it's time that we start to look back into who's doing things, maybe handle things on our own, maybe see what's up. By the time we look back into it, our middlemen, the way we do it to save us money and such as college students, was back up and running with certain limitations, of course, but that was fine. That gave us enough push to be like, all right, let's start brainstorming these ideas. Let's get it going. I took to the idea of myself. I was like, yo, it is literally the Summer's End. This is a nice little neat name. And then just simple was the idea. Honestly, simple, because I wasn't trying to rush any of the people who were working with me to yo, stop working, yo, we need intricate designs right now. We need crazy designs. Right. For the most part, all the clothes out of Summer End are, pretty simple, just guard with a little fancy font, guard with a little bit of color, some simple stuff that still pops. And it did amazing because we were able to build up I think that was a big key, was I was able to bring momentum back by taking a month prior to the drop and going, hey, this is what, here's a tease at the close. Look at what's coming. We got some stuff working. Friend support is amazing. I got people like you. I got all my friends from high school. Make sure y'all tune in. Look, peep this. And
Yeah.
it motivated me. It motivated my friends and my team behind me to just really push to get close out and make a drop. And boy, did it do amazing. And I was honestly stunned, like, by the results. This
Yeah,
is a company I just started, and that drop, which lasted about 2.5 months, had $1,000 in sales.
which is crazy.
That's crazy. Of course, that doesn't account, like, sales doesn't account for money put in as well,
Right,
But
right.
just in general, seeing those numbers, seeing the amount of online visitors I had, money spent on my clothes, like, knowing that it's not about anything to do with money for me. It's about the fact that there is someone out there who is going around to parties, to family functions, to hang with friends, and the outfit they chose was an item of clothing that I designed or that a friend of mine designed that I worked with. Like, that's
Yeah.
just such a satisfactory feeling. Being on campus right now, back at school, I have kids that support me, and when I see them on campus wearing my clothes, I'm like, yo, that just hit different. Like, that's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, like that is just because I remember like right whenever like Summer's End came out, like the week it came out, week after it came out, I hit you up because I finally just brought the podcast back, like off
Hmm.
of like its 5 month long hiatus, and I was like, hey man, can I give you like a shout out of your new drop to like help you out? Because I knew like, from the sidelines, just kind of looking at it, like how that was gonna be, like coming back after not doing anything with said thing for months,
Yeah.
So being able to like put that smallest word out there, be like, hey, go check out like my friend's stuff because it's good stuff, and then being able to see kind of how it kind of kept snowballing from like a social media perspective and seeing it more and more, and then seeing that more people were wearing it or buying it, and seeing now hearing of course where it ended up is just I'm happy for you, and I'm glad that it didn't kind of fall and crumble and stay there because of the year that 2020 has been.
It honestly, I think like, motivation was definitely at a lacking for a while due to the fact that I had worked so much. I was working a job that was from, like, I'd wake up 5:30 in the morning, go to work at 7, and sometimes not get out until 12-hour shifts, like on my feet all day long, working at a medical center, like hard work,
Yeah.
not like just working retail or something. It was hard work. And that for a while almost had me struggling because I was struggling to put things together. Like, you get home, I want to work on designs, I want to do work, but I just would be so tired. I'd want to go to bed at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, like in the evening,
Right.
But from people like you, my friends, everyone, even my mom loves the idea of my company and such. And honestly, like I said, I work at a medical center. People were asking me, "Oh, well, Sora, do you want to work in the medical field?" I'd be like, "Nah, I'm actually a total opposite. I'm an art major," and I would be talking to doctors, like people who went to school for 8 years of their life to have the word doctor in their name and deal with people and such, and they would go,
Right.
"This is amazing. Like, you don't stop this. Like, keep pushing for this. You're gonna do something if you really grind for this." And having someone who, like I said, is a doctor who makes 6 figures a year and, like, makes bank tell you, yes, continue to pursue your clothing company, do
Right.
that, like, that's just a feeling that's like, yo, that's crazy.
Right. And yeah, I think what's crazy is the fact of like, at the end of the day, I think people forget, especially like if you want to do a thing like some crazy out there thing, start a clothing company, try to start a podcast, stream, do YouTube, like you gotta have grind for it and make sure that you still never forget about that passion. Like whether it means, hey, you're working like a long ass job and then you're still doing this thing, or like you're doing whatever and you're still doing this thing. Like you can't just you can't not live your life and then also try to do this thing, and you can't just full force do this thing. It's this weird balance of being able to still live your life while doing this thing to then prove to people, hey, I can do this.
It's big time management skills. It's
Yeah.
big. It's big. Prioritizing too. What is really important in your life? It's like you and me. Let's say we both get invited to go somewhere, right? Your friends are like, "Yo, come out this night," or "Yo, let's hang out. Let's go to see a movie." And it's like, that's the night that you may have to choose. Well, do I edit the podcast tonight, or do I make a new clothing design tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you're in the mood, I don't know if you get like this, but I definitely get moods where all of a sudden I'll have like 3 or 4 days. I don't want to work on designs. I don't want to do much with the company. But then it's one of those like 2-day sprees where you're just like, yo, I got ideas brewing. I'll knock out 5-6 designs. I'll come up with some ideas. I'll come up with marketing ideas. I'll come up with this, that, all within like those 2 days. So if someone's inviting me out during those 2 days or like trying to hang out or trying to go see a movie, I'm like, nah, yo, like not today, because like I prioritize my company in the long run over those things because I know my friends will always be there and such. But right now, I feel like I got to focus on the future of what I have coming in my life, especially being a junior in college. So
Yeah. 1,000% it's like that, where it's like, hey man, you want to go hang out? It's like, no, I can't. I got to record this podcast, and like I got to get it done. Like that's just how it is. So I definitely completely understand that. And it's like, I guess 5 episodes at this point. Jesus, it feels weird to say because that's like 5 weeks. I had on my buddy Hugh Moran, who runs a YouTube channel with like 35,000 subs, and like we were talking, and it's just kind of like the same thing that we're talking about now is like that grind, that hustle, that balance, and having to say like, nah, man, I can't go out and do this. I have to do this other thing. And then for friends to be like, oh no, like you don't have to, and it's like, no, I have to because I don't want to end up working a 9-to-5 desk job. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's just it. I can't imagine working a 9-to-5 desk job. I just can't. Like,
I know. I say the same thing. I say like, it's like hard because I think about it, and it's like my major as a graphic design major is honestly not a very guaranteed job, right? And if I do get one, not guaranteed good pay, and I'm probably working 9 to 5, sitting at a desk making really bad Celino and Barnes lawyer billboard advertisements,
exactly.
bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing the work I want to enjoy. So I'm trying to set the ground now to at least be able to, maybe go still work outside of college after college, but try to set myself already in the door, take a step inside the door of what I want to actually do. And I think although 2020 has been a rough year, I think there's no better year or generation or time period than like this now, in all honesty.
1,000%. I mean, of course, you have me, who is I'm a theater major, and
Same
so it's like
seat as me, bro.
exactly. I don't know what it is because I again talking with you as well. He's like a film major and he's doing this.
Yep.
It's like, why do we choose to pair unstable things with another unstable thing? Because like there's nothing saying that like the podcast won't just flop this episode and it's all over, like
Exactly.
or whatever. So it's like, why do we keep setting ourselves up like, oh yeah, we're set up, we're setting up the foundation, but like that foundation could also just collapse on us. Like,
I mean, I'm a big dreamer, man. I'm the type of dude that wants to make a van my home and go live with my dog and like my girlfriend and just travel. Like that's a big mindset to me. I really think that if you don't take life like by the balls and like make it yours, then there's no point in living it. I don't want to live the 9 to 5. I don't want to live the Wall Street job. I don't want to. I've talked to adults and like these people who, like I said, the doctors and stuff, and they're like, yo, if I was in your generation, the things I would do, the chances I would take, the opportunities I would try and make. There is so many ways to create your own source of income in 2020 and to hustle for things and to get rid of the classic 9 to 5 job. Yo, Go start a food truck, go start a podcast, go do whatever it is that you think makes you happy and just go for it. Because if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. And then down the line, man, you're just going to be miserable, bro. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
If you're around the age that like I am, I mean, actually, we didn't touch on it, but like now I'm 21 now. Like today is my birthday. I'm 21, and it's like,
yes, sir.
If I don't spend this time like working on things I want to do, like I can always when I'm 30, I can figure out a way and I can recover. I can go work a McDonald's job and live life, I guess. But if I don't spend the time that I'm in right now trying to do the things that I want to do, I'm going to regret that I never did them later on. And I know people always say that all the time, but like that's the truth. And like I already feel like that regret's a possibility if I don't keep hustling, you know what I mean? If I don't keep trying to do the things I want to do. And yeah, of course it's hard when it's like, oh, like the thing you're doing isn't making you any money or doing this, but it's like I'm enjoying doing it. Like I could live in a cardboard box, and as long as I make one random stranger happy in my life, I'm fine. I'm content. I could die right there, like with nothing to my name,
People don't understand it. Some people really don't, because some people are the classic go to school, get a guaranteed job, or join the military, get a guaranteed, degree after the military, guaranteed benefits, so and so. And I think those are all opportunities, and I think to each their own. If that's your path, I'm not judging by any means. But I think, the problem with 2020, the problem with our generation, our age, is that prices in college are rising. and the refund from college, in a sense, that you used to be guaranteed. You used to go to school for 4 years and you were basically guaranteed a job, so you got a refund in a way. You paid for school, but you got a refund of a job, a guaranteed job for the rest of your life. It's not the way it is now. It's really not.
Right.
A degree has lost its value in a sense of the name next to the degree, wherever school you go to, it does not hold as much weight in the work world as it used to. It's all about experience now, especially when I'm a graphic design major. I could learn half the stuff I wanted to on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that the statement's about to like pivot, or I think our conversation a little bit, but I feel like that's fine. Is I think that currently where we're at in the world and kind of just circumstances, stuff like that. Of course, there's nothing we can do about it, but I feel like the circumstances of how we're learning, like our classes and our education for our degrees, has also devalued the use of a degree. You know what I mean? Like, and I say this in the sense of like, I'm learning movement classes for my theater degree online. Like, I feel like, yeah, sure, I'm still going to go ahead, graduate, get a degree, but like, I don't feel like I learned everything. Like, I learned everything, sure, but I didn't learn everything,
I've been making this joke with my friends, and I've been making it with people and such in our generation, in our current situation, right? Specifically, the college kids that are in college right now. I've been making this joke, and I make the joke of, yo, I hope my employer doesn't ask me to do anything, because I remember it because it's Zoom. There's so many teachers. Even teachers are like, yeah, this is hard. Students aren't the only ones struggling. I take an art history class. I have a 68-year-old woman teaching me art history. She has no idea how to work her computer or how to work Zoom or how to do half the things that, you have the younger teachers who are teaching the course like a proper online course. You're able to learn a little bit, it's not that bad. But then you have the other teachers who are like, here's Zoom, listen to me, this is it. Like, no extracurricular like they normally would, no no in-class conversations, none of that. It's just lecture, Zoom, done.
Right. Then of course you have the not, I won't even say insane because I feel like that's over exaggerating, but just like the large amounts of homework that I definitely didn't have last semester or my semester before, but I do now because it's online, and like professors I think feel like they might need to compensate. Like,
I
and
feel
so
like
it's
sorry to cut you off. I feel like it's a factor of that classwork is no longer in class, So now your classwork is adding up into school, into homework. So an activity you would have normally done in class, which wouldn't have been a problem, is now being turned into, oh, it's an assignment due next week.
Right. Like just last week or 2 weeks ago at this point, who knows? Time's relative.
Oh,
It's
yes.
all Monday. But I had a fall break, and it was like a 2 days off, like plus the weekend and stuff. So like a nice 5-day break. And it's like, man, I can't wait to enjoy this. And then of course it's all of a sudden 2 assignments from this class, 2 assignments from another class, like 2 assignments from another class, 1 assignment from another class. And it's like, all right, well, never mind. I guess it's not a break now, like
yeah.
It's just stuff like that.
It's definitely I almost find it a little bit more stressful in a way. I think that it's
1000%.
It's testing my time management skills to another level, because you find out you had something due, you didn't know that it was due. You're mistaking things, like teachers that aren't good with the websites. They're not putting up the proper due dates. They're not putting up a due date. They just put up that the assignment is there. So then when you get a 0 a week later, you're like, why did I get a 0? And then it's like, I didn't even know this was due. You didn't put a due date. You just put the assignment there. Oh, well, I put it in the syllabus. I put it here. Well, sorry, we didn't have a class that actually went over the syllabus. We never actually looked it over together as a class. Like things like that. I think it's just it's really testing a lot of kids. And I know a lot of kids who are just ready to stop school because of this.
I know people around me who have stopped it, and it's like, it's unfortunate because I know like the way my theater program is structured specifically, it's like taking off a semester puts you like 2 semesters behind because the way the classes rotate in our program. And so it's like, that's just unfortunate because like I get it and I understand where you're coming from and where you're at, but like I know that at the end of the day, that's also going to screw you, and like I am sorry for that. Like,
I made the decision to come back. Like I said, I was working a good job, man. I was making more money than like most kids I know. Or I was making $20 an hour at my job, and I was like really tempted to not come back, to just focus my time into guard, to just do so and so. But then I knew that would mean I would spend an extra month, half a year, whatever it is of my life, either doing a summer course or something, just to catch up to where I'm at. And I'd rather not do that, because what happens with a lot of people that I've met is they go and they take the break year and they never come back, man. And
Yeah.
it's just not what I don't. I know myself as I could easily get comfortable in the situation of working that job, working on guard, but I want to at least finish my degree, you know?
1,000%. And it's like, for me, I know it's going to be like, my brain's already in that rough state of mind because they've already announced that my next semester, my final semester before I graduate, is going to be online as well. It's like prepping myself to get through another semester of like all online stuff, like as well as definitely been one of those like rough mental prep things. So it's just, yeah. But I feel like I'm in the same boat as you where there's no way I could have taken a semester off because that semester would have turned into the rest of my life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just, yeah. Now, we're gonna pivot back here a little bit. What was the name choice behind Guard? Like why that being the name of
Do
your
you want the
clothing
inspirational
company?
version or the real version?
I mean, I'll take them both.
No. I think now that it's been made, I think it's got a little bit deeper meaning. I think guard, in a sense, is just what it is, man. It's guard. Guard yourself, guard your beliefs. Protect who you are as a person and represent what you
Sure.
want. I try to, with the designs we do, I try not to hold back. My mom's my mom, and she'll look at things. She'll be like, "That's a little scary. That's a little upsetting." It's my artwork. I'm putting out what I want. I'm not gonna succumb to what the trends are right now. I'm not gonna succumb to the influence of other people telling me, "Well, I don't think that looks good." It's not what it's for.
Right.
It's for those who support my art and like what I do or what me and my friends do, for the artists that work with me. But the actual name itself, I thought of it in a sense of, so you have companies out there that are very simplistic. I wanted to be simple. You have the word Gucci is a mass company. It's a mass
Yeah.
international company. Everyone knows it. It's recognizable, and it's simply the word Gucci. That's all it is. But
Right.
my friend Brody, one of the people who works with me, my best friend, gave me a long time ago a fanny pack that was a lifeguard fanny pack. So on the fanny pack, it said guard with the little lifeguard symbol underneath the little cross.
Right.
And then one day when I was thinking about company names and stuff, I'm looking up. I had done an art project. I had done a painting with the fanny pack in it. It was like a still life painting that was my life. It was a skateboard and such. And I had done this painting, and I saw the guard thing there, and I was like, yo, honestly, I'm going to go with that. That's what it's going to be.
Right. I like that. I like that. Now, go ahead and tell me a little bit about your guys' newest drop that has, I think, like 2 weeks ago, a week ago at this point,
Yeah,
came out.
Beauty and Chaos. We just dropped. It is it was a little bit late, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I wish I could have gotten it out earlier, just a
Sure.
tad bit late. But it is a fall spooky season kind of drop. I took inspiration from the world famous TikTok right now. There was a trend going around with people putting pumpkin heads on and doing photo shoots, and they look sick. And the area I go to school in is a very nature-esque place. There's trees, fields, all types of stuff. And I was like, yo, you know, if I take this trend in a marketing scheme, I looked at it as a marketing scheme in a sense. I was like, yo, let me
Oh,
take
sure.
this trend, let me hop on it, let me use this to market it. In a sense, people loved it.
Yeah, no, it's
People loved
great.
it. It was a spooky drop. We got some cool designs in there. The theme of it all was chaos due to the fact of 2020 coming to an end in a sense, and
Yeah.
it's been a chaotic year, but there's still been some beauty behind all of it. I try to see the best of all things. So I just said beauty and chaos, some spooky designs, cool little ghoul guys, some people fighting and whatnot. And I had fun with a lot of designs, working with a lot of designs. And the pumpkin head was just trend spooky, and it worked amazingly. I love the way the photos came out.
Yeah, no, the photos are great, and I think that's just one of those things of what, like, yeah, sure, you could have lined some people up again, had them put clothes on, done it in the woods, and just done another like photo shoot. But no, it's like, what other element can I add on to what I know I'm already gonna do to make it stand out or make it a little different?
Exactly.
That's definitely
It's a double. Like I said, it's double. It's a fact of even people who don't know about the trend, right? They still are like,
right.
wow, this isn't just a bunch of people on a white background taking their photos. Wow, this isn't
Right,
just a
right.
regular modeling photo shoot. Or wow, they're not just in the trees. Still would have looked pretty because the area I'm in is very pretty. Still looked really nice, but it wouldn't have highlighted what the drop was for, and it wouldn't have given it the extra spark that people might be more interested to click on.
Right. So, yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm gonna ask. I was gonna save it for before the break, but I think I'll ask it now. Why not? So, where do you see guard, or where would you like to see guard? Like down, like what is your perfect picture timeline of like what happens? Like, do you think that it would be? Oh, you just hope to be like a bigger brand in general? Do you plan on like have? Do you think you'd like to have just keep doing drops? Maybe have an actual like solid, always around like stock of stuff, kind of just like rotating in and out.
Yeah.
Where do you see
So
yourself?
right now, personal planning and such, what I would love to do is to cut the middleman stuff. I'm not gonna
Sure.
lie. The reason I do it is because it's a guaranteed sense of security when it comes to funds, right?
Sure.
The way I do it, there is no way that I lose money in a sense, right? You know, if you do things on your own, you have to buy all the sweaters, all the shirts. You do not know who is going to buy so and so. Not to mention, with screen printing and such, there's limitations on colors and how many layers and so and so. And it kind of binds some of the creativity that some of the artists I work with have done. You know, they'll give me a very colorful design, but if I wanted to actually use that one, maybe I couldn't because the way that I'm going to do it with screen printing, you know?
Right.
But I will say the goal right now is to figure out a way to cut out the middleman. There's multiple ways to do it. I could go to a factory, but then I have to get very professional with it and do color swatches, do fabric, do all this, so and so. I don't know if we're ready for that yet. I don't think it's that time and point yet. I want to just cut the middleman. I want to try and figure out a way to at least do certain things by myself, you know? Maybe I can start producing the t-shirts, maybe I can start producing the hoodies, whatever it may be. I want to branch out into other clothing items. I want to maybe have guard me and all my team members come together and create some sort of one of ones or exclusive items in a sense. You know, like I had done the idea of bleaching certain shirts, giving them certain little designs and such. But as a whole, I'm not really. I don't know. This sounds like this is going to sound negative in a way, but I'm not striving to be put inside of the big stores. That's not
Sure.
what my goal is. We as a whole are a bunch of kids who skated, right?
Right.
I enjoy the localness of a community in a sense, you know, if that makes sense. That was probably really bad wording, but I enjoy the support of a community, you know, of a family in a sense. I
Right.
want to make sure I brand our company the proper way. As a whole, I would say we're what you would call a lifestyle brand, right? You know, do I aim for more extreme sport people? So snowboarders, skateboarders, skimboarders? Yes, because at heart, that's what we are.
Yeah.
But do I make designs that can fit anybody's style? Yes. So you'll see probably in the future the people on my page that are wearing the clothes that I might have be a brand ambassador or so and so will probably be people more aimed towards the extreme sports, you know, like someone riding their snowboard or skating or whatever. But it doesn't mean
Right.
that I don't want to push people who don't do those things away. That's not my goal. It's still a lifestyle brand. I want to have something for everybody.
Yeah, and I think the fact is, you have people like me who should probably never touch a skateboard in their life just due to the way that I'd probably hurt myself. But like that are still out there wearing your clothes, buying them, supporting you guys, and like those people out there exist, and I know that because I'm one of them. Yeah, even strip
Hmm.
away the fact that I am your friend, I still exist, and I'm still
Exactly.
supporting your brand. You know. And
I
so
No, no,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go
My
ahead.
bad. No, no, no,
Go
no.
ahead,
You
go
got
ahead.
it. You got
No,
it.
no, no, sir, after you, after you.
No, I was just say like it's like you know with the big one being the big example of drops being the Summer's End drop. You know, I think it made me happy because I hit all of that. You know, I hit friends, right? Friends purchased items. I was like, wow, thank you so much for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But then I had friends of friends from word of mouth buying these clothes that had no idea who I was. And then I even had from me just doing little Instagram promotions, I had purchases from people like they worked. You know, I didn't think they'd work.
Yeah.
But they worked. I had random people that I would ask all my, you know, friend, what do you know this person? Do you know it? No, I don't know. I'd have these clothes going out across the US. And it was crazy. I was like, yo, this is insane. Like, this is wild. And it just, I don't know, man. It makes me happy. I don't have a specific desire for the company. I don't want to end up, you know, I'm not looking to be, oh, I want to be in Zoomies. I want to be in the stores. I want to be, you know, sold here and there. Like wherever we end up, I'm sure it'll be a good place because we all have a good mindset. We all have a plan for the company.
Right. And you know, since we're talking about clothing and stuff like that, I will say that as the audience knows, because I've teased it, like that's the flavor. It has some merch in the works and some stuff coming. But it's funny because you talk about this, and I think it's because I like knew I was gonna have you on the show. I had like a weird dream, where, like that's the flavor and guard did some stuff, and who
Yo, you let
knows?
me know, man. You let me
Who
know,
knows?
man.
Who
My line
knows?
open all the time, man. You let me
Yeah,
know. I'm a graphic design major. Even if you don't even need guard on it, if you're just looking for some design work, yo, I already got an idea in my head for that's the flavor. That'd be such a, yo.
right,
Let me know,
right.
man. I just thought of an amazing idea. Yo,
Well, definitely hold on to that because I don't think that that's the flavors there yet. Because I know we definitely still have some designs in our catalog and stuff that we want to get out and mess around with. But it's definitely a thought in the back of my head for sure. But before we continue on with the episode, even though we're already, I think, like 40 minutes in, let's talk about a word from our sponsors. And we are back. Hope you guys enjoyed that ad because I know that everybody, of course, loves advertisements, of course. Why wouldn't you? But we talked a lot about, the guard stuff and all being all professional and like, hey guys, go chase your dreams. Which don't get me wrong, totally, people. If you're out there listening to this, go chase your
do
dreams.
it. Do it.
Do
Don't
it.
be scared. Do it.
Yeah, just
Take
just jump
if
in.
your parents are traditional and they want you to do what they want you to do it. You're living your life for you, not them. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, 1000%. I think that to close off that fact, before we're probably going to get a little chaotic with the next thing I have to bring up. Definitely going to be a major pivot. But definitely go out and just chase your stuff and don't be afraid to do it. I mean, Hugh talked about it when he was on a couple weeks ago. Victoria talked about it last week when she was on talking about puppets and stuff like that. Just go do what you want to do. That's part of the reason why I'm having the people on the show that I'm having on the show. It's because these are people that are out there doing cool things along with me doing what I'm doing, like and having the podcast. And it's just I want people to know that it's okay to go out and do your things and do it. And maybe you won't succeed, but maybe you'll at least have fun doing it. You'll
It's a
enjoy
memory.
doing it. So just go do it. Just go do it. Pack everything up, go live out in the woods and do it. Because that's how 90% of stuff works, but it's fine. But to pivot, because I know, Christian, you and I have been friends, again, for an extremely long time, as I talked about at the beginning of the episode. I got a question for you.
Yes.
So you and I wake up in a big vat of spaghetti noodles.
Oh.
Like we're talking like a huge, like one
Like
of the
cloudy
vats
with a
hold,
chance of meatball size, or is it like
hmm.
normal size, but it's a huge pot type
Yeah,
thing?
it's normal size, but it's a huge pot.
Okay,
And I mean
all right.
like huge in the sense of like the containers they hold like beer and stuff in like breweries, like those huge like containers.
Oh, okay. Word. It's pretty big.
Like we wake up in here. How did we get there?
Damn, that's a yo. If I'm be honest with you,
Yeah.
here's the story. Here's the story, right?
All right. Spin it.
Came out to Pennsylvania, right? We're out in the area,
Right.
right? So and so. Damn, I don't even know. Yo. Sheesh. And I'm like, yo, I feel like this would be my fault. If I'm be honest with you, it's my fault. It's
Oh
probably
no,
my
it's
fault.
1000% your fault. I mean, part of what got us there could definitely be my fault, but I think that the fact of where we
I
end up
think,
is
listen,
definitely
man,
on you.
if I'm be honest with you, I'm a pretty curious dude. I like exploring for the most part. I
Mhm.
like to, oh, what's this back here? I'm almost positive you could catch me going, yo, bro, what's in that building? And you'd be like, nah, I don't know, man. And it looking abandoned, but for some reason it's Stregonona and all her spaghetti and meatball breweries, and we fall through the floor. And now Stregonona is looking at us all upset, and she's like, "Mamma
Right.
mia, why?" And I'm like, I don't know. It was just it smelled good, so I came in like.
It smelled good in this abandoned building, so
Yeah,
I came inside.
yo, that I really don't know any other way. Like,
See, I think that we were on the run.
oh, from what though?
I think from Strigonona.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Angry pasta lady chasing us, and we
Yeah.
ran into her pot instead.
Exactly. I think that maybe, we were hanging out and we went to like, this nice little like Italian restaurant, like it looked a little like hole in the wall place. Like so we went
Yeah.
inside and the food was terrible. Like we didn't want to sell anybody, but like I feel like Strigonona could tell, right? She kind of knew something was up and like we weren't really vibing with the whole like food thing, all the food that was happening.
Yeah.
But we kind of like up and left. I feel like, later that night things got a little spooky and we kind of like felt like something was going on. So, we're trying to get out. We're trying to escape. Strigonona's like always on our tail. Little did we know she was leading us to her abandoned pasta factory.
Damn.
And then next thing you know, we plunge in to this like big vat of pasta. I like to think that since I said we woke up in it, we maybe like hit our heads on like something going down, knocked out. somehow didn't land face first though, or else we probably would have like drowned in like pasta, like water and residue. I think I don't know how that works.
No, I feel like there's enough space within. I feel like we wouldn't drown in that. I feel like it's a little hard to drown in. It's not fully liquid, you know. There's sauce.
That's a fair point.
But
That's a fair
actually, it
point.
depends on the density of the sauce. Let me not say
Yeah,
that.
that's a great point.
Yeah. All right, let me not say
Okay,
we
so-
could have drowned.
Yeah, we'll put the question mark on the drowning, but just to kind of push away that fact, I'm gonna say that we landed in such a way that like, yeah, we were knocked out, but like our faces were up, so like we're breathing air.
Yeah. We floated to the top.
Yeah. Everything worked out. Everything worked out, and then we wake up there. So that's what I like. That's how I like to think we got there for sure. But you know, I'm not sure. This is definitely a loaded question.
Yeah, that's a hard one to just think. Damn, I was not ready for that to be the question. Yo, I'm thinking
You weren't.
you're gonna ask me like, oh, so and so with this memory, or so and so with like this company
No.
moment, and this man's like, yo, pasta, bro. Yo, what
And
if
that's
we
just
woke
the- 'cause
up in it?
I told you before we started the episode. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm probably gonna talk to you about guard stuff, and then later on in the episode, I'm gonna ask you like a random question. But like, I didn't even expect for it to be that random, as like, or to sound as random as it did when it came out of my mouth. I was like, yeah, this is fine, this is whatever. And then I said it, and I was like, and I really said that. I really said that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think both stories add up. I think yours is probably a little bit more understandable. You know, you go to a restaurant, bad food, and then you're like, yo, you whisper to each other, you're like, yo, McDonald's or what, man? Because like this place right now, this ain't it, man. This is
Ain't it.
You know, we left, we didn't pay for the food because it was so bad, and now she chased us all the way there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's probably better because my story was a really badly directed DC movie with a bad superhero.
We found an abandoned building, and I got curious.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that was the story. That's my thought process. I came to visit you. I was like, yo, and then that was that.
Exactly. Well, sticking with the vat of stuff, but it's more just another interesting question. So, if you fall into a giant vat of Jello, you drown or suffocate?
I eat it. I make an air bubble, and I do neither.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. So if you fall through it, you'd break the seal, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
You'd break the seal. So I'd assume that there would be some sort of airflow able to get in, right? As this is my assumption, right? I don't
Like a
know. I
small
don't know
amount,
the
but yeah,
physics
sure, I'm
or
with you.
science behind Jello. I don't think it seals back up once it's been made. I think that the
Yeah,
crack
it's
would
not
stay,
glue.
and then I would simply either rip. Well, I don't know if I could rip. Maybe I couldn't. I would definitely chew though. I would definitely try and bite a chunk to get an air bubble to breathe.
Yeah.
That'd be my starter plan. But there is no grip because it's going to be slippery.
Right.
But if I had to put it between the two, damn, I'm gonna say suffocate. Honestly,
Yeah.
because
Most
drowning.
people like to hit me with like the what state is the Jello in?
No,
I
no,
feel like
no,
that's
no,
a great-
no. Here,
What?
yeah, that's true. I'm assuming the Jello has been formed.
That's what I assume as well. Which I guess therefore makes it suffocation. That's a solid.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's formed, and like it's not like I said, when you drown in water, it's because water is it's going down into your lungs and such and blah blah blah, and you can't swim, and then you can't breathe, and that's
Right,
drowning.
right.
But I think suffocation is just lack of air. So I think if you were to get stuck in a thing of Jello and it was solidified, it would indeed be suffocation over drowning.
Right.
But I'm chewing. I'm living because I'm built different. So.
Yeah, because you even said you're like, oh well, like I can't climb out because it's slippery, but I feel like you could chew yourself out some hand and feet holds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Chew or like claw. It's not like Jello is like brick. It's still Jello.
Yeah, but I think clawing at it, you got to be a little careful. Like I think moving it in general, because what's saying it doesn't just collapse on you, you know?
If it collapsed, I feel like there would be more air holes, and I'd be okay with that.
That's a fair point. Unless it like falls like it's like a wall, but I see where you're coming from. Definitely more holes in this question than I thought there were. More air holes.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
I wasn't prepared for your ingenuity.
What can I say, man? I was almost an engineer. It's that simple.
And then you went for graphic design.
And then I was like, math is really hard. We're not doing that. What needs the least math? Oh, art? I can kind of do art. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, I could draw a stick figure. I
Yep.
could start from there.
Let's do it.
Yeah. How many were almost an engineer? That would have been great, because then you could have been engineer buddies with Zach.
No, I don't want to like cry myself to sleep with the amount of work that they get.
It's a fair point.
I'm good off that.
I already cry myself to sleep sometimes with like the amount of work I get, and I'm a theater major. Like,
Yeah, I'd rather pay to be a little kid in kindergarten and draw. That's what I do.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
make like painting like hand turkeys.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then they're like, wow, this is what Picasso would have wanted. This belongs in the MoMA. And you're like, well, I did this the night before, but yeah, sure.
I did this on a can of Monster and with 2 hours, but yeah.
Yeah.
Put in the MoMA.
Sure.
Sure. Definitely. What was I gonna say? I don't know at this point. I feel like my questions have kind of devolved me a little bit. Oh, okay, no, not fair. It's back. It's back. I'm not devolved.
Okay.
It came back. So there's a question I ask a lot of new guests. I asked Victoria last week, and it kind of happened on episode 6 of the podcast. And, it's one of those more random questions. Just brace yourself. Who wins in a fight? Shaquille O'Neal-sized loaf of Wonder Bread, 15 baby ducklings.
You know, I'm pretty sure I've heard you say this one before.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, the ducklings win, right? Now the answer here is simple. Bread doesn't fight. The hell, what does bread do? It doesn't fight. It's just gonna sit there. It's huge. It's pretty big. I think Shaq's like 7'6" or something at least.
Yeah. Taller.
And at his current weight, that's a large piece of bread, right?
Right.
But where's that bread going? It doesn't have arms. You just said Shaquille O'Neal size. You didn't say
right.
Shaquille O'Neal as a piece of bread, and he's swinging on baby ducklings.
I am completely on Team Duck here. So
it's
trust
Team
me,
Duck.
you're speaking my language.
They'd be smart enough to move out the way. I think if it was to fall over or something, they'd quack their way around, right? And then they got all the time in the world. You know who their real opponent is? The Seagulls. Now that's a fight they'd lose.
Where do you assume this bread fight's happening?
On a beach. Or like the middle of the road in like downtown Manhattan. And now the pigeons are fighting the baby ducklings. And now it is a bird war.
Oh, we got a little bit of like a territory war going on here.
Now it's on some territory. Nah, this is my garbage can, not yours. This is my garbage can. So now that's how I see it.
Dang, I didn't think about that. That makes it way more interesting. Like, all of a sudden, now you got ducklings versus the pigeons.
Well, I assume, it's not like my assumption is that this was not in an enclosed environment, right?
Well, see, my assumption is that it was.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then the baby ducks win. End of conversation. Boom. Done.
Sure. But if you just throw the bread
But
out
I'm
in the
assuming
wild,
that this is some random place in the world. It could be a field in the middle of Tennessee. Now you got to worry about the crows. The crows are like, oh, there's no scarecrow there? I'm pulling up. Like, I'm going to eat some bread.
I'm coming in. It's happening.
And the baby ducklings are still babies, so they don't get to quack very loud and be like, leave me alone.
Right. They can't scare it away. They don't have the scare tactics yet. Unless they were all like team up and like all quack at once.
Yeah, I don't know.
15
compared to like 3 adult crows, I feel like it's just a loss regardless.
Yeah, unfortunately. See, I know that's like a dog eat dog world scenario right there.
Yeah, that's a bird eat bird, man. It's just
bird eat bird world.
It's rough out there. That's why you gotta chase your dreams and be a Shaquille O'Neal sized piece of bread if you want.
Exactly.
Now, would you suffocate or drown if you were in that bread?
I feel like suffocate.
Okay.
You gotta think. Okay, if you're saying like, what, like someone like tossed me down in there, or like
you are on some no. Here we go. Han Solo, you get put into the wall, but the wall is bread.
No, I'm dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that bread has a crust, and so unless that gets punctured, I'm dead. Because sure, there's still air holes and stuff in there, but there's only a certain amount of oxygen in there, so I'm dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
My belief is that I would be so turned from the smell of an obsessive amount of bread that I would just die.
So much bread smell, head explodes. Like,
I mean, like, I would just get so grossed out that it would just be over, man. I'd just give up.
Do you not like bread?
I do, but I couldn't imagine myself being encased in it and then smelling the obsessive amount of it. I think it's just...
It's a fair point. That is a fair point, yeah.
That's just too much, man.
Yeah. And on that note, we're going to bring this episode of That's the Flavor to a close. Episode 16, another one in the books. Working our way towards big old... I don't know, I guess 20 is probably the closest next milestone, even though I probably won't care about it that much. But it's fine. I don't know why I said that. But Christian, thank you so much for coming on the show. Let people know where they can go ahead and keep up with Guard and see what you guys are doing, putting out, where they can go ahead and buy clothes if they feel interested.
Word. Thanks for having me for starters. Before I sell out
Of
on
course.
myself. But yeah. So if anyone's interested, the number one spot I'd say to keep up to date with everything that we have is our Instagram, which is at guard GUARD underscore clothing co. It's all one thing. Don't worry about the capitals. And then from there, there's a link in the bio, and then as well as we do have a Twitter and we do have a Facebook. So I believe the Twitter is the exact same thing. It's just at Guard Clothing Co. Guard underscore Clothing Co. And then the Facebook page is simply just Guard Space Clothing Co. And you can find every one of those social medias has the link to our actual website. Or if you just skip the media, you just want to see the clothes, you just go to guardclothingco.com, type it in on Google, be the first result. Website, bada bing, bada boom, pumpkin faces, you'll see it. You know.
Yeah, awesome. So definitely, audience, if you haven't already, as you know, I've talked about them earlier on in our shows and episodes. Definitely go ahead and check them out. Go ahead, give them some love, buy some clothes. Just at the end of the day, if you're poor, just support their work. Just go ahead, share it around, tell your
Yo,
friends
people,
about it.
yo, I'm not trying to sell it even more, but a
You're
simple
fine.
follow and a share goes a long way for both me or your podcast. It's so
Mm-hmm.
simple, and people don't understand that the extra view from their story, even if it's someone who only has 20 followers, one of those 20 followers could be your next listener, or the next person to purchase my clothes or to share my clothes or to share your company, your podcast some more. Like
Right.
it's a chain, man. That's all it is. It's a simple chain.
Exactly. Like it's just that the things that when people go and they think, oh man, like I don't know if I can actually like how I can support this. Just simply word of mouth, spreading it
Yeah.
around.
That's why I said it's not about the sales for me. It's simply about making people happy and people enjoying my work. So when someone shares it, it still means just as much.
1,000%. So yeah, like as we've been saying this episode, obviously, we got a little goofy at the end, but just like we mentioned earlier, go follow your dreams, go do what you want to do, and yeah, keep living your life and being you guys. Again, thank you all for listening to this episode. Thank you guys for your support as always. I've been Christian Slider. This has been That's the Flavor, and until next time, stay flavorful.